Hey guys, this is Grace and welcome to page number 2 in my grid/scrap series. So if you're new to my channel or you've not heard of this series, basically I am tackling my big mountain of scraps of paper, and instead of just doing like a regular scrap series which I've done before, I am kind of doing a subcategory which are grids. So basically all of my pages will have some kind of grid design to it. So with this particular page I am doing a 6 grid design. So I'm starting off by creating a frame around my page. I am working with a cardstock, just a white cardstock, and instead of like matting it to another paper, which that's like my go-to, I am pulling some strips of scraps of paper, and that's what's going to be my frame for this page. I thought that will help me to use up my scraps, even if I'm only using a 1/4 inch of each one of them. So there is my frame. I am also using some 3x4 photos, and they are all horizontal, so that will work well with the design that I had in mind. And I am going to cut these frames, the ends of it, into an angle so that they all meet together and they will look good as a frame. And so I did cut them just a little bit smaller than my cardstock because I didn't want them to go all the way to the edge. I wanted a little bit of that white to show on there, so that's what I did. Now I'm grabbing a bunch of smaller papers. So what I did with this series is that I had kind of pre-planned what I wanted to do, and then went through my big stash of scraps and just went through all of the papers. So when I have a paper in mind that I wanted to use for that particular page, I put it in a pile. So you don't really see me go through that whole, like, you know, going through flipping through all of my scraps. I've already committed to specific papers. I just needed to cut them slightly smaller. So all of these papers that I cut are the same size as my my photos, so they're 3x4, and then some of these papers will be accents to my page, and I've done this before in my other scrap videos where I cut images out of it, so that will be my embellishments. And so that's one of the things that maybe you could try to do if you haven't with your scraps of paper. Now if you look at the top right part, there is a block of kind of handmade embellishment to it. It is a layer of different things from my stash, and that kind of handmade embellishment collage, I've made that a long time ago, and I'm just again pulling out all of the stuff in my scrap stash, and that was one of the things that stood out to me, and so that's what I'm going to put. So there was a bunch of layered items on there with some rhinestones and some hearts to go along with it. Now I have this paper that has a lot of kind of little note stuff, and the bottom is cut in a banner, and so I cut that in cut 3 of those, and I'm going to add that to kind of this visual triangle that I'm creating around my page. The best was cut out from my silhouette, and I just used a free script font from thefont.com. I think it's called Buttercup. This particular one is called Buttercup, and so I would just basically do mass cutting of some generic titles, or at least generic words, and cut them in both black and white. And then I'm just sticking that in my scrap stash or in my scrapbook room, and then when I need titles, that's the thing that I pull out. I'm mostly doing that nowadays. If I use my thickers or my other letter stickers, it's to complement those script, but I really love script titles, and so that's my kind of my first go-to thing that I do. I am adding some little tiny alphabet stickers from My Mind's Eye to just complete my title. So a little bit about the picture. Again, as you can see, my title is called Best Barbecue, and it is Rudy's Barbecue, and it's one of if not our favorite, one of our favorite barbecues in town. I think they are based in Texas, but it's really, really good. I love their buttermilk pie, and of course all of their meats are smoked for hours and hours, and so they're really good. And we rarely go there because it's kind of on the other side of town, and of course we can't eat that much all the time. So, but we love that place. And in this particular one, it was spring break for the kids, and my husband was at home from work, and so we decided that it was a good day to be out and spend some family time together. And that's going to be it for me today. I did add like a circular pattern paper and on my collage of elements there, and that's going to be it. I will catch you guys on layout number 3. Bye.